got some snow in the south. First, I thought ice, and it's usually like some sleet, stuff like this right here. It's icy a little bit. But we actually got some snow today. It's a little bit different. And I'm no up north expert and could say, oh, we got 3, 4 inches of snow. But I could say, based off of my landscape perspective, it's probably 3 inches. um, Based off of, I know I got a landscape bed along my driveway, and I don't see it, and it's pretty built up over here. You can't see any you know grass or nothing like that, so must be a decent amount getting snow throughout a random part of the season. Well, not a random part of the season, it's wintertime, but we don't typically get snow here in the Charleston area. Like the last time it snowed here was like over 6, 7 years ago. It was a bit of a snowstorm that I actually missed out on. I was actually in Florida, and as you know, it don't flow and snow in Florida. So this is actually my first time seeing snow here in Charleston. Yeah, it was getting down. It started last night around about 7 o'clock, and I guess all through the night it just continued. Snow, 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 and yeah, I'm cold. Yeah, I'm a little cold. I'm a Florida boy, man. I don't know about these cold temperatures and stuff like that, but I'm layered up. What does that mean for a landscape business, though? Should these guys start going out buying snow plows and stuff? Probably not, because it's like looking at the forecast. It said it's just one day, so if people start making decisions like going out and buying all this snow plows, snow shovels, and all that stuff, and it's absolutely not a reoccurring thing and don't happen as frequent, probably be overkill. So it's just a little hiccup, basically. Like, hey, you may or may not, but it's definitely some snow out here. Ain't gonna lie, it's pretty crunchy. I've seen snow once in my life, and that was in New York. I had visited New York, and it snowed when I was there. I was there with my family, and then now, basically, it's the second time in my life that I've seen snow. But it's pretty crunchy. Crunchy, like when you step on it, like soft, real soft. Based off of how my shoes look, y'all, I wear 10 and a half. How deep is the snow? Let me see. And that's the grass down there. So I guess I can get a ruler and measure that right there to see what the depth is of that, to understand how much snow is actually, how much snow actually came down. But family out here, they playing in the yard. They're over there trying to build a snowman. It's not too cold. It's too cold for my hands. I ain't trying to have my hands all tied up in no snow. I should probably have gloves on, but I don't. But yeah, I just figured I'd shoot a little short video because it's kind of different for the Charleston area. It's not common for them to get snow. It usually bypass. You usually go up in the upstate, the Columbia, just northern parts of the climate, because there's different zones when it comes to like plant hardiness. For instance, you got zone 10 down in Florida. You got zone 9 between Georgia. Well, you got zone 9 down in Florida and Texas, but it's different zones, and that's based off of the climate, basically how cold it gets. And typically for South Carolina, like we're in zone 8A, 8B. North Carolina, they're zone 7A, 7B. Those zones, 7 definitely gets they definitely get snow there in zone 7. Zone 7, the plant hardiness zone. And that's basically how these plants are determined, where they can survive at. Like if people have, some what they call mums. Mums they could probably have those year round. We can't have them here. We can only have them throughout the winter time, because that's a plant hardiness zone for a plant like that is rated for a colder climate. But I don't think this little snowstorm that came. I don't think it's going to change the trajectory of the next few years. People start actually going out getting snow plows, unless it would change things because people being able to maneuver and get to work and stuff. Like the last time I heard that South Carolina in this part snowed, they wasn't prepared and they didn't have like the plows and stuff like that to clear out the roadways, so they had to shut everything down. People couldn't move around because it was projected, but people probably didn't think it was going to happen, but it did. And that was like 6-7 years ago. So now I'm pretty sure, like this year, I was looking on Facebook, and they were complaining that like some people from up north, of course, people moved to the south, whatever. They were like, hey, they're putting salt down way too early. I guess they were putting it down around like 5 o'clock, 5:30, and it starts snowing at 7 or whatever. But people, you're always gonna have a critic to tell you how to do something better. But either way it go, they were just trying to, make it more accessible if people need to go out and go somewhere. Nope, it's still the case. What's still the case? What's still the case? But yeah, I think like right now, they did shut down like the job and stuff like that. Different type of businesses. A lot of businesses are closed today because they're, of course, again, still not fully prepared for this winter thing. They don't want to overinvest on something. Yeah, South Carolina wasn't prepared. Yeah, South Carolina probably wasn't prepared, but we definitely got it. It's here. It came. I was looking last night. I was like, look at those rooftops. Look at this. We got some. Look at that street. All white everything. Snowfall. And then, of course, me being me, if you're a man and you got a truck, I had to get out there and I say somebody been out here doing donuts. They've been so me. I had to go. The resources were loaned. Somebody did a research. He said the resources were loaned out to other states, so South Carolina wasn't prepared for this weather. I can believe that. We got so much going on within the states. We got California, got stuff going on. We got, this frost didn't just affect this area. It already don't transpired in Georgia. I think it was in Georgia almost, was that a week or two ago? Was it a week? It's like, I feel like this is not the first occurrence. I think this is like the second time. You say you plugged in. Yeah, man. Stay plugged in. But yeah, how many occurrences y'all had in Georgia? Because this is not the first snow. I think it snowed one time before it did right now. And look at this guy. Look at this guy. This is his first time actually seeing snow and actually being able to indulge in it, because I think the last time it happened, he was like a baby. My boy is 8. Last time he was out with the snows, I think he was like 2 years old, maybe 2. No, he's probably 1 or something like that. Second time in a week. Oh man, second time in a week and a half that Georgia got snow. Yeah, it's crazy. Did they shut down a lot of stuff there in Georgia with things being closed off like that, with the the roads and stuff? Because it is very slippery. I gotta be transparent about it. I had to test it out with the truck, so it's definitely slippery. Did they shut down? It's look like you guys had snow within the last couple of days. Is it shut? Like, is there a lot of stuff still shut down right now? I'm talking with somebody in the chat in case anybody's wondering who I'm talking to. It's chat coming up, so I'm just communicating. First time, yes. This time, no. Second time in a week. Yeah. The first time, yeah, okay. So they're like, hey man, we about to adapt quick. Georgia like, man, we can't be shutting everything down. We got business. We got things coming in and coming out. We got to keep the roads on the move. I do think it's pretty dangerous for trucks and stuff to be out, man. Like those big semi trucks. I know they drive through stuff like this. When you think about like all the things that got to come together, like goods and stuff that got to be transported, all your Amazon, all your groceries, got to get to the grocery store. Somebody got to get them there, whether it's an airplane or truck. So you got to think essential workers are definitely necessary. And the say landscapers may be filling in that shoe as well. It just continues to be a recurring thing over the years or whatever, because I don't know where the climate change and all that stuff is going, but if this place don't get snow, uh, within 5, 6 years, they throwing snowballs at me, y'all, while I'm trying to record this video. But if South Carolina do not get snow, in Georgia, certain parts do not get snow, and they keep getting snow over the next few years, as far as if it start to increase, like this guy said he got snow within 2 times within a week and a half. 2 times within a week and a half, and this place is a southern climate, really not prepared for snow. You best believe people are thinking like, okay, maybe we do need to invest in small things. Let's get at least this or that, let's at least add these type of services on. so so they can be prepared for the season, because there's businesses that have to operate. So if we got truck drivers, for instance, back to what I was talking about, if we got truck drivers, right, that's delivering to freight or grocery goods to a store or something, and they can't get into the dock because the docks are just, crazy, or it's too much snow, those are going to become real issues. So who's going to be filling those slots to be able to fulfill those services? I'm not saying jump the gun, but it might start small, like getting some small powered equipment that you can probably put on your trailer or something, that you can go out to a site and clear off a dock, and it might take you a couple hours, but it'll make them functional, make that business functional, and people be able to operate. Little things like that. I'm pretty sure people who, are in northern climates, they probably prepare for this stuff night and day. Like they got plows and all this, shovels, etc. But I would start with something very, very small, just to alleviate services that's going to be in demand in the future. But I don't know. I'm curious to see how the rest of the season is going to play out. Of course, it's January. Winter lasts until, we still really got another 2 months of, winter, a solid 2 months. I feel, because in South Carolina, I think our frost date shuts off right around, I think, April 28th or March 28th, one of those days. I gotta look at my calendar. I'm not sharp right now. I ain't been in tune lately, but our frost dates are usually pretty late. So if the frost date is pretty late, that means the climate is still gonna be potentially cold, and this can happen again and again and again. No telling how many times it's gonna happen, but it definitely doesn't happen often. Like this is the first time in, I think, 7 years that it snowed in the Charleston area. 7 years. That's a decent amount of time. So who can be prepared for, oh, it didn't snow in 7 years, but they said it's gonna snow. We almost don't believe the anchor man, of course. Be like, man, this dude's just talking. He just wanna hype everybody up, strike urgency. I actually seen a picture that was on Facebook, and somebody was like, it doesn't look like there's no sense of urgency with this snowstorm coming. They showed a picture of the shelves in the stores, and it was a ton of groceries, there's a ton of bread, ton of water, and you guys know how it is when there's a sense of urgency, or a natural event happening. Stuff usually blow out of the stores. You can't find water, you can't find toilet paper, just normal stuff that you typically use. But all the shelves were full. So what that said to me is people are confident in that the weatherman is lying, and they didn't go for it. So that's kind of funny to me. But I think being that it's here now and it actually happened, now they can be like, okay, next time they say it, it's a 50 potential chance that it may snow again. So what could I do to prepare for it? Like, for instance, this is my driveway. I don't think it's a big deal for us because we're not like in these different terrains where we have all these different slopes and stuff like Georgia, North Carolina, and all these other states. South Carolina, not in this part. We don't have all that going on. But I know there's like people like to have their driveways cleared out, and that's usually the main thing, the roadways and the driveways. I guess there's ways to prepare for stuff like that, but I would need to look into the industry to see what's absolutely necessary from a starter standpoint, because you don't want to jump out there unnecessarily investing to something that may or may not happen. And then if you do invest in some powered equipment, who's to say how often you're going to use it? That's the biggest part of it. So it's almost like some things you could start with like a shovel. Like I don't know if the entry point when it comes to snow is like a lawn kid who can who picks up a lawnmower and mow a lawn, as a comparison to someone who has a shovel that can clear out a driveway. But I would definitely start at the lowest entry point that I could, because you don't want to spend unnecessary money for, you don't know the return on investment if you got, a $2,000, $1,000 machine that's actually, getting the snow and removing it out of these driveways. Because almost all these driveways you can see, I don't think it's a complication with people getting out. Like I said, maybe if these houses were down in a slope where the snow transitions towards the house, I could see that being an issue. But in the area that I'm in, like you can see the street. This is the road right here going straight down. There's no issue with nobody, getting through. I think everybody is mindful. Everybody's, trying to drive slow, because they're trying to make sure nobody getting injured and no accidents happen. However, I did see an accident last night. As soon as the snow started getting down, it was a guy who ran into somebody's house. Literally, whole car was in their house. And I was like, there's only one way that happened. He was out there and he was driving fast, and he probably tried to slow down, but it was too late. But his whole car was driven into someone's, like, the driveway, knocking off their garage and like the walkway to the entry of their house. But the car was in the house. I was like, wow. I was like, that sucks for them, because the snow was, just picking up. And they throwing snow at me, trying to record. But yeah, man, I just want to make a little short video. Yeah, drop some comments down in the comment section. What do y'all think about these snowstorms? Are they going to be reoccurring, for the next few years? What are you guys what are you guys preparing for with your, your business and stuff like that, if something like this continues to reoccur? Because absolutely necessary. Stop trying to hit me, man. It's good. And then he throwing big chunks at me. But I got to get off here, y'all, 'cause my phone is literally dying. And I don't even know if y'all can see me, because I can't see y'all right now. My phone, you know how your phone get really low, and you know how your phone starts to dim when your battery